So for number 3, this one we're not given all that stuff. We have to do it on our own. And this is what you're going to see most of the time. So here we're told the region bounded by the graphs of y equals x squared plus 1/2, y equals x equals 0, and x equals 2 is revolved around the x-axis. So that tells us we're going to have a dx cut. Find the volume of the resulting solid. So first function, what's this going to look like?
Looks like a parabola to the negative 1/2.
Parabola.
Minus.
Careful.
X-axis at negative 1/2.
Careful. If it were in the parentheses, it would move it that way. When it's outside the parentheses, it's moving it up 1/2. Right. So we're going to have a parabola with a vertex at 0, 1/2. So it's going to be up a little bit. So that's our first function. The second one is going to be just y equals x, the line, slope of 1, y-intercept 0. And then we're given x equals 0, which is just the x-axis, and x equals 2 right there. So the region we're left with is right in between those 4 graphs. And we know it's going to be a dx cut going around the x-axis. So I'm going to draw my little rectangle. And again, since we're talking about washers all day in class, we know it's going to be a washer, but just for a little practice, if we look at a rectangle, vertical one like this, draw one on the other side, and spin it around, we end up with a washer. Right, so the little radius goes from the x-axis to the small part, and then we have big radius, x-axis, up to the top of the rectangle. So little radius is always going from the x-axis to the line. So that's going to be our little radius. Dx cut has to be in terms of x. So r is just going to be x. Right? It's the y value of the line, but the y value is equal to x. The big radius is equal to the y value of the parabola, but we have to do it in terms of x. So the big radius is going to be x squared plus 1/2. We set up our integral. We have pi times the definite integral from what to what? 0 to 2, right? Smallest x value, biggest x value of x squared plus 1/2 squared minus x squared dx. If we go ahead and evaluate in our calculator, we end up with 69/10 pi.